serving as a point of reference. Before we construct probably roads or a building, it's really necessary to tie the points to a pre-existing reference point. So georeferencing gives us this advantage. Now, what are the components of GIS? What are the components of GIS? Now, a complete and working GIS integrates the following key components. One, we have the hardwares, we have the softwares, the data, the people, and the methods. Anyone missing out of this makes that GIS incomplete, because the hardware cannot work without the software. And even though we have the hardware and the software available, if there are no people to work on them, if there is no data to work on, it is useless. So let's look at the hardwares now. Hardware is the computer. Hardware is the computer on which the GIS operates. The software. GIS software provides the functions and tools needed to store, analyze, and display geographic information. Key software components are: 1. Database management system, that's the DBMS. 2. The tools for input and manipulation of geographic information. 3. Tools that support geographic query, analysis, and visualization. And finally, the fourth one is a graphic user interface. That's what we call the GUI. This helps for easy access to the tools, to access easily the available tools. And another component of GIS is the data. Data here may be the most important component of GIS. Most DBMS used to create and to manipulate a database to help organize and manage data. And that's the usefulness of the component of GIS called data. Now, we need people also. Without people to manage the system and to develop plans for applying it, GIS technology is as good as nothing. It's useless. So there must be people to manage all these things. And finally, the methods. A successful GIS operates according to a well-designed plan and business rules, which are the models and operating practices unique to each organization. Now, major hardware components include the CPU. And the CPU is made up of the control unit, and which is the CU, and the arithmetic and logic unit, that is the ALU. It also consists of the main memory and the secondary storage. And also it has input and output devices. Whereas the software components include the range of software to be installed to the computer system to enable it to function. And these include operating system, drivers for hardware devices, linkers, and debuggers. Now let's look at GIS humanware. The GIS humanware, this is hardware and software that emphasizes user capability and empowerment and the design of the user interface. That's what we mean by GIS humanware. It is hardware and software which emphasizes the capability and the empowerment of the user interface. Take the following questions under transportation. Number 1, in what ways can transportation contribute to the economic development of any one country? Number 2, describe 3 advantages and limitations of water transportation. Number 3, explain 3 ways in which physical factors can hinder the development of road transportation. Number 4, give 3 reasons why air transportation may be preferred to other modes or means of transportation. And lastly, number 5, mention any 4 ocean routes used in world trade. Now, these questions are very straightforward questions. Number 1, talking about the ways in which transportation can contribute to the economic development of any given country. That's more or less asking you the roles of transportation in the development of any country. Now, to answer that question, one way in which transportation has contributed to the economic development of any country is 1, in the movement of goods and services. Now, for goods produced in one part of the country to be conveyed to another part of the country, probably for distribution and marketing, there is need for transportation. So this has enhanced economic activities in a country, thus improving the economic development of that country. Number 2, apart from moving goods and services, people are also conveyed or moved from one place to another. You cannot just send the goods down to a particular place and there is nobody to be in charge, or there is nobody to carry out the transaction. So transportation has also helped in the movement of people from one place to another. And transportation has also provided or generated employment opportunities to people in a given country. That is another way in which transportation has helped or has contributed to the economic development of any one country. Now, you never can tell how much money you will make if you set up a transportation company. There is so much money in it. Daily, you will know what the profit you will make out of it. So that is a very handsome opportunity, job opportunity created as a result of transportation. Now, another advantage or another role or way in which it has contributed to the development of any given country is in the diffusion of ideas and technology. Now, technologies or ideas prevalent in one region is made possible or made available in another region through transportation. The people who are vast and knowledgeable in a particular technology are conveyed or are moved with the help of transportation from where they are to where they are needed. to train or to transfer what they have, the idea they have, the technology they have to another set of people. And this is made possible as a result of transportation. So, we have been able to answer question 1. Now, let's look at question 2, which says, describe 3 advantages and limitations of water transportation. Advantages of water transportation is that 1, water transportation is relatively cheap. Now, it is cheap in the sense that 1, we don't need to construct the waterways, even if we need to make them flow well or make them look nice. It is not as expensive as it is to construct or maintain an airport. So that is an advantage of water transportation. Now, the ocean is free for all nations to make use of. That's an advantage as well. And in water transportation, we can convey bulky goods from one country to another. And it is also relatively safe. Now, the limitations are that 1, it is too slow. It is about the slowest means of transportation. People spend months to complete one journey, which is, of course, obviously slow. That's one limit.